used to be in court where you always tell the witness, you ask a question, and if you respond, look at the judge. Don't look at me. And then in that time, we might, but in this setting, we're looking directly across each other. So no disrespect is intended, Minister, so we appreciate your indulgence. We're going to deal with 4 topics in the time that we have available. Brown Mkhwanazi, the Matlala affidavit, the appointment of Cedric Kabende, and then you wish to highlight from your affidavit discrepancies in Mkhwanazi's account. From a house point of view, we also want to point out that the statement that you made about meeting with the president and so on, it's not in your statement. It could be an oversight on the part of, because I recall ironically enough that we added in our draft that we presented to your team, so that may explain that it's a genuine oversight. Yeah. So just in relation to Brown Mkhwanazi, the allegations, as I said, it is contained in the transcript which I've referred to, and the allegation. Or let me first ask you, because you've requested this, could we play the particular clip that you've requested to be played? Lerato?
Said that, I quote, "The minister is briefed. He has just arrived in Lusikisiki." You will recall, colleagues, that we had an incident in Lusikisiki, a mass murder that happened there. And the minister of police had gone visiting the families and that crime scene. So after this communication, the provincial commissioner called the chief of staff, Mr. Nkabinde, the chief of staff of the Minister of Police.
Just one moment. I thought we would start with my comments on the 5th.
Yes.
On the 5th
So,
of
yeah,
March.
no, you're absolutely
And
right,
then go to
Minister. The first clip is the 5th of March before the Portfolio Committee.
Maybe ask to start with Mkhwanazi.
Just while we find that clip, it is on page, it is Exhibit Bundle 4, the transcript of the meeting of the 5th of March, starts at page 22, and it's on the paginated page 143, type page 119, and this is when the Provincial Commissioner addresses the committee. His address starts at page 139. The reference to Brown Mkhwanazi is at page 143.
But I think I picked.
That's something that Provincial Commissioner Mkhwanazi is saying about some fellow. 2 weeks ago, it does happen in a week or 2 or 3. I think a week and a half ago, I got somebody insisting that there's somebody who's going around saying he works with me wherever I am, he is there. And I said, show me the face. And it got to a point where he showed me the face, and I told him, I don't know this person. And a week before, there was another person in Mchunu who said, is my young brother. My younger brother died in 2005, and I don't have any other. And so when the person says you really, so I think we must be very circumspect when people come to us and say, I must be an associate of this and that. I'm no associate to the person that General Mkhwanazi is referring to. But I appreciate whatever they discussed, and then those things come out so that I understand who is saying what, where, and so on.
And Minister, is that the clip you wanted played? And it sounds like it corresponds with your response to the Portfolio Committee, which is at page 160 of the paginated papers, at 136 of the type pages, from about line 7 or 8, where you said, but I think I picked up something that Provincial Commissioner Mkhwanazi is saying about some fellow 2 weeks ago, and it does happen in a week, 2 or 3. I think a week and a half ago, I got somebody insisting that there's somebody going around saying he works with me wherever I am. He is there. I said, show me the face. And it got to a point he showed me the face, and I told him, I don't know this person. And just earlier, we've already referred to Mkhwanazi, who got a phone call that's at page 143 from line 13, 14. He said, this is Mkhwanazi, on 29 October, to be precise, I received a phone call, Chair, a phone call and a message that came from a gentleman who said to me he is a close associate of the Minister of the Police, and that is Mr. Brown. He referred to himself as Brown Mkhwanazi. This Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, who had described himself as a close associate to the Minister, indicated to me, which made me believe that it is a close associate of the Minister, because he said to me he was joining the Minister of Police to visit the Lusikisiki massacre, and that happened last year, and because I did not trust him, I called the Chief of Staff to try and establish who is this gentleman. And the Chief of Staff did confirm to me that indeed he is a very person close to the Minister of Police. But what surprised me about this gentleman is that he then indicated to me on a message that he sent me when he said there is an internal attempt to discredit me through the defeating the ends of justice case. Anyway, the rest is not particularly relevant. Okay. So you also wanted to deal. There's the ethics committee. You also wanted to deal with your responses, which is that you gave to the ethics committee. You recall that there was a complaint that was lodged by Honourable Member Schikkeling, which to the committee, and if you could just turn to Annexure SM2 at page 540. It's the annexure in volume 2 to your witness statement. Do you have it in front of you there? At page 541, this is from your affidavit in paragraph 8. You reference the exact time of the recording. And then you also refer to the to your response, which I've where you just to in the last sentence, I think we must be very circumspect when people come to us and say, I'm an associate of this and that. I'm no associate to the person that General Mkhwanazi referred to. Then you say at paragraph 12, I deem it prudent to mention that following the Provincial Commissioner's address, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee did not pose any questions or comment, and neither did he afford the honourable members an opportunity to do so. Had there been a direct question from any member asking me whether I know Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, I would have answered in the affirmative. And then at paragraph 13, subsequent to the Portfolio Committee sitting, I was made aware of an audio recording between myself and someone I had spoken to. I do confirm that the telephone conversation is true, but unbeknown to me, it was being recorded. In that recording, the person had asked me a direct question, which was not asked in the Portfolio Committee meeting, on whether I know Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, to which I responded that he was just a comrade from Northwest and not my close associate. Further stating in isiZulu, and the translation loosely is, I do not smoke tobacco with him, emphasizing that he was not a close associate of mine. And then he said the recording is available on TikTok. I think there was an attempt to make it available, but he couldn't get the audio. And then at paragraph 15 on page 554, you thereafter issued a statement on the 9th of July titled Statement in Response to Allegations Regarding the Minister's Alleged Association with Mr. Matlala and Mr. Mkhwanazi. In that statement, I mentioned that I do know and have met Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, but further mentioned that he is just a comrade and not an associate of mine. And then at paragraph 17, you refer to the Oxford Dictionary and the difference between an associate and a comrade. You said, associate and comrade, as per the Oxford Dictionary, the word associate, which is a noun, means a partner or companion in business or at work, whilst the word comrade, which is also a noun, refers to a colleague or a fellow member of an organization. It is in this context that I denied Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi being an associate of mine. Close or otherwise, I rather stated that he is a comrade, as we are members of the same political party and have engaged on party and service delivery matters on a number of occasions. Do you want to elaborate any further, Minister?
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much, evidence leader, and honorable members. As you heard, in the portfolio committee of the 5th of March, after all other reports, I was asked by the chair whether I wished to make comments, and I made 4 comments. The first comment that I made says, I was approached by somebody who says there's somebody who goes around as per the clip, saying they work with me and they travel with me. And I asked to see the photo. In fact, we had a small conversation, after which I said, I wish I could see the fellow. And if he called, and then he showed me the photo. Now, I don't mention where this happened, and I don't mention who the person on the photo was, partly because with time constraints, and I wasn't necessarily, that was not the focus of the portfolio committee. So I was just relating a story, my story. So now that I'm here, I need to make it clear. The person that was on the photo was not Brown Mkhwanazi, even though I didn't say it that way in the portfolio committee, but it wasn't. That's why on looking at the photo, I say, I don't know this person, which is not Mkhwanazi, which is not Mkhwanazi. It's another person that I didn't know. So I say to the fellow showing me on his cell phone, I don't know this person. Because I thought they might have cloned a face of one of my staff members for one reason or the other. So I passed. That's my first comment. There is no way that that reference was a lie, because it was my story. I was sharing it with the portfolio committee, leading to somewhere. What is the second comment that I make? Second comment is that I tell another story, which is the second story, of somebody phoning me while I was at work somewhere about somebody who is talking to people in Witbank, saying he's my younger brother. Then I say to that person, I don't have a younger brother in that context, because he perished in 2005. So deal with the fellow who is using my name, to that person that was talking to me. There's a second comment that I made. And there's no way it can be a lie, because I was talking about what had happened to me. And the third comment is then I make a caution to the portfolio committee to say we should be circumspect. That's the word, that's the term I used. We should be circumspect when your name is dropped here and there. It doesn't mean that it is like that. Having related those 2 personal stories or personal experiences. Then I make the 4th comment, now directly relating to what General Mkhwanazi had said about Mkhwanazi being my associate. So I say the person that General Mkhwanazi is referring to is not my associate, it's just a comrade. This is now Mkhwanazi directly. Now, so that is what I did. Now, what do I mean by, what was my personal understanding about an associate, even today? I know a number of honorable members here, others for many, many, many years. But they may not necessarily be my associates, at least the way I understand associate. They are people that I know. Like Honorable Albert Mkhwanazi, I knew him long ago, when we were vehemently opposed to each other in KZN. But I have never regarded him as my associate. It's just somebody I know.
Thank you.
Now, that is what I was explaining there. And there's no way I could have lied there, because the 2 comments are my personal story. The third comment is a precaution, to be circumspect. And the last comment
is then to deny. Now, what complicated things in my view is that when General Mkhwanazi made his statement on the 6th of July, he then tells the public something twisted. He says, Minister Mchunu said he doesn't know Brown Mkhwanazi in Parliament, which I never said. I never said. But he tells the public something twisted, saying, I said in Parliament, I don't know Mkhwanazi. When I actually said I don't know the person who was on the phone, not Mkhwanazi, and that was not Mkhwanazi. He told that to fit his narrative, if he was not making a genuine error on his part, one of the two, he can explain what he was doing, whether it was an error or he said something to the public that suited, that was calculated to suit his narrative. I never said in the portfolio committee, I don't know Mkhwanazi. I said he is not my associate. Somewhere, I think it was in here in the portfolio committee, or no, in the ad hoc committee, or in the Madanga Commission, he said it doesn't differentiate between knowing. He even spoke about a friend, the difference between a friend, knowing, comrade. He said something like it's similar to him. That is to him, not to me. I differentiate. That's why I use the dictionary to say, in fact, from where I sit, once you say associate, I would think of some partnership, some work relations.
I think, Minister, I think I, as evidence leader, I accept that you know him and that he is not an associate of yours, as you explained, and that he's a comrade. I think I understand the
Yes.
difference between the two.
Okay.
An associate is a bit closer in a business sense or some other sense where there's some kind of relationship. So
Yes,
that is...
I do want to conclude, though, and say, when I heard that there are members of this Honorable House who have taken me to the Ethics Committee and Code of Conduct, after which I was given a deadline to submit an affidavit, I did so, freely so. But, well, up to now, I haven't been called and so on. But I did make an effort to clarify this matter. And it is the first time I clarify this matter as I do in an organized fashion since Mkhwanazi made that statement.
So you're satisfied that your
I'm
response
satisfied,
has now
except
been...
the issue of the lady. That lady pretended to be worried about what was happening between me and General Mkhwanazi after the IP'd kind of conduct to him, speaking like she wanted to sort of bring about an understanding so that we could, from where she sits, reconcile, which I was fine with. I said, okay, I'll brief you. So I briefed her, relaxed and so on for quite some time, 30, 40 minutes. And I didn't know that she was recording me. Now, I only learned the following day that she was actually recording me. And then when I followed up, I realized that she was on a platform that is associated or is said to be administered by somebody who is a member of MKP, that is Mkhwanazi's party. So I thought this lady must have been a sniper of sorts, thinking that I would sort of say something that she would have needed. And I just, unknowing to me that she was recording, just stuck to what we were discussing until the end. But underline the fact that in the conversation between her and myself about Brown Mkhwanazi, I do say angpeminai, not requested by her, out of volition. Explaining myself, I said, angpeminai. And this is Zulu, when you say angpeminai, you mean you are not close. It's known by everybody that in this is when you say, I am for.
So, Mr. Minister,
You are not an associate. That's what I need to explain.
Honourable Minister, can we just move a bit forward? We have a limited time, but I just want to be satisfied that you said